First of all, I'm in California right now. I've just been smoking pot since I got here nonstop. So the fact that I can even speak right now is pretty incredible.
No, it is incredible. Although we just had a meeting, me and these friends of mine, and what is the name of that company, Jason? I don't. We won't say the company on air, but we just had a meeting. What does he do? What does he do?
He's a venture capitalist.
No, but the marijuana side of things.
Between $1 million and $50 million in medical marijuana companies.
Yeah, but he has these things. He has vaporizers. He had them, and he's sitting there smoking weed the whole time.
Oh, nice.
You'd have loved him.
What a great time.
And he's asking me, he's like, we're sitting there, and he's like, cool offices, and we're trying to get him to invest in this company we're launching called Playline, Daily Fantasy Sports Simplified. Check it out at Playline on Instagram. But yeah, so we're looking to raise some capital. Talking to this guy. He's smoking his own weed the whole time throughout. He was a cool guy, very good looking as well. If he's listening, we all want to take you out to dinner because he was a very cool
charming, good looking guy who has some great weed.
Yeah, with millions and millions and millions to invest.
I'll marry this guy right now.
Well, that's what Jason said. Jason said, I'll suck his cock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I'll move to LA.
One of his products that he's launching, and he showed it to us, is cannabis-infused champagne.
Ooh.
Non-alcoholic cannabis-infused champagne. So you drink it, it tastes like champagne, but it just gets you high.
Brother, I don't drink alcohol anymore.
Isn't that incredible,
That's
though?
perfect for me.
What a...
You know what I had? There's a cannabis-infused...
Very inventive.
Lube. That might...
Okay.
The guy who...
For when you're taking it up the ass of your boyfriend.
No,
listen, as I say, whatever you're into.
You're getting a blowjob, whatever
it
is. Yeah, or you're eating a girl out. But it actually works out. The women absorb it through their vaginal, layering.
Mucus.
Whatever it is.
Tissue.
It's great.
Vaginal tissue.
I love it out here.
Vaginal tissue.
I know you've been on a campaign against Joe Rogan and his weed.
No. Whoa. I am not on a campaign.
For me, I saw Joe Rogan last night. I saw Joey Diaz last night.
Listen. I am not on a campaign against Joe Rogan and his weed, as you put it. His evil weed. Listen, everybody feel free. Do you? I have nothing against it.
Yeah.
I have nothing against it. And it's certainly way better than drinking alcohol. Drinking's terrible. I wish I didn't drink, and I'm trying to stop drinking altogether.
Are you really?
Yeah. Not that I have a problem with it. It's just a social thing. But even still, you feel like shit the next day. You're not as productive. Maybe you say a few things you shouldn't have said.
Try to fist fight Eddie Bravo.
Yeah. Listen, the list goes on. Believe you me. Lots of regrets the next morning.
I'm sure.
Not that I'm an alcoholic, but I'm trying to stop drinking. If people want to smoke marijuana, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm just not a public advocate of it. I don't go out there and through my social media channels say, hey, everyone, go out there and smoke weed. It's fucking awesome.
You made a good point. You're whether you want to be or not, you're a role model, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
I do love, that's a great quote from back in the day. From what's his name? I'm such a bad sports guy, but from the Phoenix Suns, one of the most famous basketball players. No, the black guy, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
He has a quote where he said, I almost want to pull up the quote, role model Barkley quote. I'm really stinking right now. Sorry, guys.
So here's another thing as well, and I shouldn't say this on air, and I won't ask you to delete it. But driving back from the airport.
Think about it. Just take a moment.
It's okay.
Think about it. You sure?
I don't know.
Just think about it, because I'm telling you right now, I'm sending this to Shannon. Nothing's being deleted. I refuse. I absolutely, because I'm warning you.
Well, I'm naming and shaming.
Naming and shaming?
I don't know if I'm naming.
Is that like quitting one hit and quit? What is it?
Chat shit get banged.
Chat shit get banged? That's the name of the podcast.
I'm going to name and shame. No, I'm not. But listen, somebody very close to me.
Okay.
Was found with a certain device in his bedroom recently, and I was told not to say anything by my wife. He'll remain nameless, but he's 16. Yeah. He's a very good wrestler. And he had a certain device in his bedroom, nicotine only. But I'm like, what the hell? No, it wasn't even nicotine. But I'm like, dude, what the? I haven't spoken to him. He doesn't know I know. But I was a little bit disappointed. So anyway, I'm not out there advocating marijuana to the masses. And I'll say this. I guarantee that when Joe Rogan, Eddie Bravo, and all those people, when their kids are older and they're teenagers, I doubt they will be either.
They're going to have a different attitude.
Because they got young kids right now.
Well,
I don't know if they do or not, but I'm assuming they do.
This is the Charles Barkley quote. I'm not a role model. Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids. Which there's something about that. I love that as well.
Yeah, that's a great...
Because you're kind of thrust into this thing, and you didn't necessarily ask to be... a role model. But if you do have young fans, you almost, what are the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
You almost have to do it.
Listen, by the way, can I just say something? I don't class myself as a role model. I don't. I'm just talking about being a father. I don't class myself as a role model.
Well, to your kid you are, yeah.
Of course. Because one thing I hate, and I hate this with a passion, I'm slightly going off on a tangent here, and you will never hear me say this. You will never hear people talk about my fans. Oh, I owe it to my fans and this and that. And I don't know, maybe they're right to say that, but I just think you sound like you've dissipated up your own fucking arse when you talk about my fans. I'll talk about UFC fans, I'll talk about MMA fans. I don't talk about my fans. So I certainly don't go around professing to be some bloody role model. I don't think I'm a role model and I'm inspiring a nation. And if I do inspire some people, then that's great. That's good. But I'm just trying to be a good father and not advocate recreational drugs on my fucking podcast.
When your kids listening,
and call me stupid, I would say that's a responsible stance to take.
Well, it's
right, Jason? I'm not asking Lewis because he smokes
He wasn't
dope.
even listening, and he just shook his head.
He just shook his head.
This is what yes men Michael Bisping has around him at all times. He wasn't even listening. He went right, Jason, and like like it. Well, you remember the movie when we were kids? Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. I'm right on top of that, Rose. No matter what Bisping says, I'm right on top of that, Mike.
Yeah. Jason, just agree. One more time. Yeah, see, that's why you got to listen. 2 Jewish guys from Toronto.
That's all you
I
need.
have them around. Simple as that.
So look, here's the deal. Well, I want to talk about this thing before we get into questions. Your boy, Vitor Belfort.
What about him?
He says,
Sorry, I'm really bad here.
It's all right, man. You're doing great. This is fun. It's a great show. I wish we could do this in fucking
No,
person every
dude,
week.
I wish we would do this every week. It'd be so much better. Hold on.
He's dying over there, guys. I think Yoel poisoned Mike Bisping.
Oh, my God.
You know how they say that, what's his name, gave Easy AIDS?
What's
Suge Knight.
again?
They say Suge Knight gave Easy AIDS. Like they.
How did he give him easy?
That was like the old,
I know. I'd be very
the rumor.
interested to know.
He walks up to him with a needle, fucking.
It was a needle. Was
Yeah.
it? Oh.
So maybe
I was gonna say,
maybe Romero did that to you. Maybe you're coming down.
Maybe
with
he did.
The
Maybe
HIV.
he did. I hope not. I hope not.
That would suck.
Let's not make light about full-blown HIV/AIDS.
It's 2017. It's not even a big deal anymore.
Yeah, but people still die of it.
Kind of, not really.
Really?
The life expectancy is like probably 7 or 8 years younger than a normal dude. I don't
Really?
expect
That's
to live
all?
that
Oh,
long.
well, screw it then. Who needs a condom? Let's
Fuck
go.
it. Dude, I don't want to.
Anyway, moving on.
Nonetheless, I'm more condom. All right, so this is Vitor Belfort. He says, "I will leave the UFC, but continue competing."
Oh, of course, where he can go and take steroids to the heart's content and go back to looking like some monstrous, disgusting, old, decrepit, Incredible Hulk that once looked good, but now looks kind of weird and saggy tits and a small cock.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure, go ahead.
Fight is my passion. Too bad that MMA hasn't become a serious sport yet. Maybe I'll help change this scenario. Today, a fighter is more of an artist than an athlete. The UFC is a show, not a sport. It's sad to see new fighters wanting to drive the card of the moment or to be in the spotlight, spotlight like Conor McGregor. Their reference is to have, not to be. He's making sort of a point because we said this earlier in the show, the type of new fighter that's coming into it. But it's kind of bullshit. Like
No.
he's
referencing. Yeah, no, he's using that and going down. He's using that to justify going somewhere else because
Where
he
he
can't
could-
take steroids
Yeah.
in the UFC. So he wants to leave. He's had his arse kicked. He can't take steroids. He didn't complain about the UFC when he's allowed to take steroids and USADA wasn't implemented and didn't randomly test him. Now we can't do that. Now all of a sudden the UFC is a sham and he wants to go elsewhere. To be honest, good riddance to bad rubbish. I think the UFC should let him go. He clearly can't win a fight. He's a terrible human being. And that's about that.
Yeah. Well, I think, I don't have a problem if there was an organization where they said, yeah, we're going to just allow TRT and all of our competitors can use it. It's just whatever. It's overseas. It's on some fucking Indian reservation, whatever it is. I would kind of want to watch that. If they did a steroid league with muscle-bound freaks, like 350 pounds, just like, going and trying to kill each other, more power to them, but it has to be an even playing field. Everyone kind of has to come in under the same parameters.
I think you had that once upon a time. It was called Pride.
Yeah.
In Japan, they did have that. Everyone could just take as many steroids as they want. And it was awesome. It was great. There was a lot of good fights and a lot of freak show stuff, and people could take as many steroids as they want, and it was awesome, but it fell by the wayside. The problem is, if you want UFC, mixed martial arts, to be recognized as a legitimate sport, these are the levels they have to go down. So you're right, whilst it would be fun seeing a bunch of people juiced to the gills, trying to kill each other, muscles on muscles popping out the bloody eyeballs and trying to kill each other. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But also, it gives the mainstream media too much meat on the bone to attack it and discredit the sport.
Yeah.
It's not a proper sport.
You're right.
So therefore, they're going to bring in legislation, they're going to bring regulation, they're going to bring in weight class, they're going to bring in random drug testing. Otherwise, it's not a sport, it's a sideshow, it's a freak show, and people are going to get hurt, people are going to get injured, people are going to maybe die.
All right, let's get some questions here.
I'm good.
You nailed it, dude.
Nailed it.
Every time you talk, it sounds like that was a script written by some sort of major award-winning director or writer. Unbelievable. You're an artist.
I surprise myself sometimes, Lewis. You know what I mean? It's unreal. If only someone was writing this down.
Yeah.